Welcome back to Right Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to create this beautiful design on a jacket and on a dress. So stay tuned to learn how to do it. So I made a Queen Anne neckline casual top. So you can see what I came out with. It's actually looking very beautiful. So I'll be dropping the link to how I made this beautiful casual top on the description box below, so just click on it and learn how I drafted and stitched this beautiful dress from start to finish. So I'll be teaching you how to sew the surface cording. That is the main purpose of this tutorial. So I'm using a jogger's rope. I believe you know what jogger's rope looks like. So this is what it looks like. Some of them come with an iron head. Okay, it has an iron at the head of it. So this jogger's rope, you can get it from the local market. You can also get it from the store. You can get as many lengths as possible depending on the kind of design you want to make on your dress. And here I'm also using 1 yard of crepe fabric. So this crepe fabric is a thick crepe. You can also use any fabric of your choice. It's all your design and your choice too. So this 1 yard of fabric I have in here, I'll be using it to cover the jogger's rope. That is the surface cording. But I'm going to cut this on bias. Some people cut straight. You can cut on bias, you can cut straight. I've experimented all and they all give the same result. So if you don't have much fabric, you can just place it straight and cut, or you can just go ahead and cut on bias. Okay, so now I've placed my fabric on bias, that is as a triangle, as you can see, and I've started to mark my line. So the width of my strip is 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. So I'm just marking from the folded edge 1.5 inch like that. I'll keep marking them because the length of my bias is actually long. So I'll keep marking it till I get exactly the quantity I want for my design. So but for this tutorial, I actually made so many strips for this because I intended covering the whole dress. So but at the end of the day, I just used few strips. So what I'm doing right here is just to connect the 1.5 inches length. So I'll keep marking to connect the lines from beginning to the end. So once I'm done connecting all the lines, the next step is to start cutting off these lines. So I'm just taking my time to rule these lines across. So it depends on how much you actually want to use anyway for the design. So you can do as many as possible. So I'm just cutting them off 1.5 inch like that. These are my strips which I cut out. So like I earlier said, you can make as much as possible. It depends on how much you want to cover. Like at the beginning of the video, you can see the pink dress we covered from top to bottom. So it depends. If you are making so much designs with this surface cording, just go ahead and cut many. But if you are making few, you cut few. So I'll just go over to the machine to show you how to do this. So the first thing you are going to do is to take away your presser foot and change it to your zipper foot. So now the second step is to ensure that your jogger's rope is double the length of the strip you cut off. So you can see there are 2 in number. It has to be double. So now the next thing we are going to do, at the folded edge, just flip one part of the jogger's rope aside, then close up the strip. Next is to backstitch on top of it. So I'm using my zipper foot to backstitch. So I'll just go front and backwards to ensure the jogger's rope is tightened at that point. So I'm using my zipper foot. I love to use my zipper foot to sew strips like this. So I just go ahead to sew by the side of the jogger's rope. So don't be afraid. With the zipper foot, you just get a perfect finishing. Just go ahead and stitch just close to the joggers rope. So I'll keep sewing till I get to the end of my strip. And that is how I'm going to sew all of the strips we are going to make use of for this tutorial. So whatever project you want to embark on, that is how to go about it. So you can see what I have after stitching. So I have a little of my joggers rope coming out. So the next is to reduce the seams. So when you reduce the seams, it makes it very easy for you to turn. It makes it turning very easily. So make sure you go ahead and reduce the seams accordingly. So after reducing the seams, this is what I got after reducing my seams. So the next step is to turn the joggers rope. So in turning this pipe, I always pull from the down, but before I get to the end, I like to rub that end in. So if you rub it in a little bit, it makes it easy to go in or come out easily. So just rub in and make sure that part goes in a little bit. So once it goes in a little bit and you continue to pull, you just see it come out the way you desire. So can you see what I have right there? So just give it a try. When you are trying this, you understand what I'm talking about. So here I've successfully pulled my strip and it covers the other part of the rope, and this is what I have, and it's looking very beautiful. So next is to cut out the joggers rope. So once you cut out the joggers rope, you have a little excess. I just want to show you another method you can use in case you don't have the joggers rope available. So you can just go ahead and fold your 1.5-inch strip and sew in between it. So right here I'm going to sew right down in between the strip. So when I sew down the strip, I'm going to cut out the excess like I did for the first method. So I'm done right now. So I'll just go ahead and drag my thread. Make sure you drag your thread. Drag enough thread because we are going to thread it to the needle right now. So I made sure I drag out enough thread. So and I've cut it out. I'll go ahead and thread to my needle. So you are going to thread to a bigger needle. So I got a bigger needle and I want to thread this to it. So we are going to thread this to a bigger needle. Make sure you are using a bigger needle. So I'll just go ahead and thread into it like this. So once I thread into it, I'm going to also knot it at the end. So I will knot at the end because I'm going to use this needle to turn the loop. So after knotting the end, this is what I got. So the next thing I'm going to do now is also to reduce the seams. Always make sure you reduce the seams no matter which method you are using, because this will make your turning very easy. So I'm going to insert the threaded needle inside the loop. So I'm using the back needle to do that. I'll just insert it inside the loop. I'll keep inserting till I get to the other open end. So once I get to the other open end, I'll begin to turn the loop. So once I get to the end, I'm cutting off the thread that I started with. So I've passed the needle right now, as you can see. So the next thing I do is to rub the head too. So make sure you just massage or rub that part so it pulls out for you. So when you are pulling this one, don't drag it too much so your thread does not cut. So I'll just take my time. I'll keep dragging it a little while rubbing the head so I turn the loop effectively. So here my loop is turned right away. So Once I bring it out, this is what my loop looks like, although this is not really firm like the one that had the joggers rope. So you can see how it is, but you can still use it in case you don't have the joggers rope or any other rope for it. So now this is the one that has the joggers rope and the one that does not have, so you can see there's a big difference. So I've finished with my strips, as you can see, right? I even made with another color of fabric just to enhance the beauty of the dress. So you can make as many colors as you want and mix them together to have an effective surface cording. So here I have all of them with my joggers rope, only this one without the joggers rope, just to show you how it looks like. In case you don't have the rope, you can also turn without the rope. After making your cords, the next thing you are going to do is to mark on the dress. You can use your dress form, you can do without the dress form, but you need a fabric marker. I don't have a fabric marker here, so I decided to use my pencil to do that. But I believe you are seeing what I'm doing right there. So just make a beautiful sketch which you are going to follow with your cords. That means you need to be creative at this point, but if you are not, you can find someone to do that for you. So I'm going to follow all the lines I marked right now. I'm going to use my cord on them. I'm going to stitch my cord. So that means you need a needle and thread, and your thread has to be a matching color with your cord. So I use the black thread. Ensure that the part that you stitched is laying below the fabric, so your work looks very neat. So the part that I have the stitch, I lay it below the fabric, and you can see I'm picking the fabric and picking the strip or the cord. So I just keep picking it like that to create my design. So I'm actually going to follow the designs I made with my pencil. So if you have a fabric marker, that would be better, because it's going to make your drawings very, very visible. So I'm going to continue these stitches. I'm going to stitch all around the markings I made. So that means you need to be patient with this work, because we are going to stitch virtually everything. We are going to stitch all around till we complete the whole project. So I'm going to stitch right now. I'm just trying to see how it runs. The strip can go. I'm just trying different methods or different patterns I can stitch my strip. Although I had the pencil marks right there, but if I have other creative ideas, I can still apply them. So I'll just go around this dress the way you see it at the beginning of this project. So I'm going to stitch gently and gradually till I complete the whole process. So like I said, if you don't have a dress form, you can do this in a flat table. It must not be a dress form, but the dress form makes it very easy for you to stitch completely. And make sure your stitches does not get to the lining too. That is another tip for you. So I'm just trying to see if I take this round and make a circle, how it will look like. But I later changed that idea and followed my pencil marking. So that is what I'll keep doing till I get to the end. So you can see what I got. So I just felt like using the other color of strip to just bring out the dress a little bit. So I started to insert them one after the other. So you can see what I had at the end of the day. So our dress looks very beautiful. So kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell to receive more videos. So to sew this beautiful dress, click on the description box below. Thank you for watching. Bye.